That's looking good. Yeah, I see it all. Hey, that's looking good.
What's up, guys? Non-man Abandon back again. Kevin here. Got a towel over my head because, like I said in our last video, check out the link on the screen. I know it's somewhere up there. I have no idea. I've never done that before. But I did a light spice version of this pan deck, which means that basically when we do light spice videos, it's giving like a deck overview. Not really super in depth. This is gonna be the heavy spice. We're gonna go super in depth. Okay, so you guys know the reason why I have the towel on my hair if you watch that last video, which is on the screen, or coming on the screen right now, you can check out Jamal's take on his pan deck that he did just a little while back. So yeah, without further ado, let's go into the heavy spice pan deck. So here we go, pan leader. Man, it's actually such a good leader. But first I gotta say, shout out to our crew at ANC Games. Shout out to Gar and Chang who own the store. We've been going there for many years. 452 Spadina Avenue, Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Please check it out. Amazing game store, ultimate game store, card store, all in one, selling board games, all that stuff. Really good company, really good people there, really great staff there. So please give it a check if you're ever around colleges, Spadina, in the downtown Toronto area. So yeah, let's get over to our pan heavy spice deck profile. Okay, so obviously pan, really good leader. Like, this came out in set 2 and somehow it has still stuck around. I don't think it is OP enough to get a nerf, and it's definitely not weak enough to, not in any way whatsoever, to be ruled out of top rank. Yeah, it's actually just so good for that. And I was even talking about with Jamal a couple times the other day that pan decks are actually just so good in the sense that, at least in my opinion, you can't really counter them. Obviously depending on what cards you play in them, but just the leader itself, like, it's so general, but then it's just good at the same time. Like, its effect doesn't only give like a red battle card the 5k, right? It will give any colored card, which I just find pretty cool, even though it's a red leader. So that's something I really like about it. But let's get into the deck itself, more specifically the mulligan. So this is what I'm typically going for in this deck. I am changing around this deck every so often between the sideboard and between a couple other cards. So I'll get to the sideboard and then show you what cards I originally had like for quite a while in there, versus what I have in here now. What I have in here now is what I'm going to show you right now. So for the mulligan, obviously Intensifying Power Trunks is a 1-drop. You want to try to get us out right away so you can get your point with the critical. 15k or actually 20k with Pan's Effect if you're playing this card first in the turn, and you get to take your life to get closer to Awakening. I run 2 of these right now, and then you have Everybody's Pal Yamcha. I love this card so much. I am trying to get the full set. I'm gonna have to get that from Danny when I'm able to meet up with him. So I've actually been running Jamal's, which is a foil, and then a random card as the back when I'm playing casually with some friends. They already know what it is. So I'm running 3 of these, and then I'm looking for this in the mulligan. Great cards. So when you're playing it, if it's obviously first in turn, you get the 5k from the pan, which gets it a draw. But also, when it attacks, you're able to search the top 3 cards of your deck for an Earthling and draw it to your hand. This gets you stuff like, wherever this is, the super combo in the deck, which I run 4 of, obviously. It gets you your Overrealm, it gets you the Deadly Defender Krillin, it gets you the Fearless Man, it gets you a lot of stuff in the deck, Chain Attack Trunks. So really, really good card. Really good card for drawing. So it's basically a draw 2 in that turn with the auto, and then if you're playing first for Pan's Effect. So of course running 3, but thinking of running 4 of those, think of running 4 of those. We'll test it out once I actually get 4. Double Shot Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta. It's another set 2 card that's sticking around. Obviously, you were able to combo with it and play it in the rest mode after after the battle's done. It gets you the drop on your opponent's turn, which is really, really good. Obviously, it can be countered by the E-Sky, right, Jay? the Eazy card that makes you pitch a card from your hand if you are playing a card on your opponent's turn. But if they don't have that, or you may have eliminated it with some other cards in this deck we'll talk about, then you do get that draw, which is really good. I'm running 2 of these in the deck. I'm running 2 of these because I found that running 3 and 4 was a little bit bulky. But then, yeah, maybe you can run 3 or 4. It just depends. There's a lot of playtesting needs to be done, and depending on what you're facing as well. But 2 seems to be the good number to have for this card in the deck. Next, we're going to Quick Rush Trunks. 2-drop critical will get you 20k with the pan effect and a draw 1 if you're playing that first of the turn. Swing to your opponent. Obviously, critical will make them ditch a card from their life straight to the drop, which is really, really good. I wasn't running this originally, but from a tip by Jamal, I put it in and it started working really well, because then instead of playing Chain Attack Trunks for 4, if you have Quick Rush Trunks in the field, evolve for 2 red, as opposed to 3 red or 4 entry overall. Evolve for 2 red, and then you get your Chain Attack Trunks out for 2, which is really good. So that's the mulligan. Okay, I'm running 2 Quick Rush Trunks, 2 Vegetas here, 3 Everybody's Pal Yamcha, and then 2 Intensifying Power Trunks, just to recap. Okay, maybe now is a good idea to go into our life-taking cards. So like I said, we already have Intensifying Power Trunks, but also running 2 Dig Deep Vegetas. I've actually found this actually won me a game one time, so I wouldn't say it's necessarily a game finisher. It could be, but it's really good to take life. And the thing is, I like that you can take 1 or 2 life and still use the effect. So you take 1 or 2 life, you restand it, and it gains 5,000 power for the duration of the turn. So you have that for both attacks if you want to attack again. So that will put you to 20k. But if you're playing that first of the turn with a pan effect, your leader effect, then you would have already had to, you already got to 20k, draw a card. This puts you at 25 now with this effect. So it does work really well. If it's late game and this might be the only thing you can play, or you have in your field, maybe you drew it with Babidi, as I'll show you later, then maybe you do want to take 2 life if you have 3, if you're worried about being finished off on your opponent's next turn. So a couple of different things you could do with it, which actually works out pretty well, and I like running it. It does work out pretty well. And I have been having fun using it so far with the different play styles or plays I'm able to do with it. So those are the cards that are able to take life from yourself to help you get closer to Awaken. Next, we have obviously my friend over here. You guys already know this. Haven't actually ran Zeno, like I said in the Light Spice video, until I started playing this deck. So we have 2 Quick Rush Trunks, like I explained, and then I'm running 2 Chain Attack Trunks. I have another one in the sideboard, so I go between 2 and 3 often. I find that both works depending on the game. I know most people like to run a little bit more, but I don't know, with the other cards in this deck, I have found that 2 of most cards seem to be a good number. So Chain Attack Trunks, obviously when you play it, if it's the first card that you were playing for that turn, you get to draw 1 from Pan. And then you can Chain Attack into Zeno if need be to restand your hand to 5 and your opponent's to 5, and wipe the battle cards off the field. Or you can also Chain Attack Trunks into a Babidi. Basically a Chain Attack Trunks Babidi for 4 energy, or even 2 if you're evolving. On turn 6, if you have 6 red energy. I don't know why you would have another color energy, because I only have these 2 blues and then the black overall. So turn 6, you're able to play this Chain Attack into Babidi, or earlier for Zeno if need be. So yeah, you guys already know what this little combo does, and it does come in handy, very much so. Won me 2 or 3 games, 2 for sure, maybe 3 since I started playing it, and it's fun to play. Like when you need to get out of a bad situation, it does really help you to do that. Puts a little smile on your face, gives you another chance at fighting. So that's it for the Chain Attack combo right there. Next, I'll show you some cards that will help us to draw for the deck. So you guys already know Time Patrol Trunks. I am actually happy that this guy stuck around as long as he did from the expansion pack. playing that is a free draw from his effect, but of course from the pan as well. Like many cards in his deck, you're playing it first, you're drawing that card. So essentially he draws 2 for no energy with Overwhelm 3. I'm running 2 of these because I don't think 3 is necessary. I was running 3 or 4. I'm like, okay, this is pretty it's pretty much. It's a lot for this deck, and 2 seems to be the sweet number for this card. I wouldn't run 1 just because it might be hard to get it, and at least if you have 2, maybe you do draw into it again from his own effect, and you can just play again the next turn, because even in late game, this deck is really good at comboing, so you already have built up 3 cards in your drop, but it's so easy to do the overrun once again. So Temperature Strong is very, very good, and it's an Earthling, right? So you can search for it with your Everybody's Pal Yamcha, which works really well. And then you have your sideline that says Bulma. Again, like I said, it's an Earthling. I run 4 of these. The other one is with the Yamcha, as I was taking out to show you guys. I lied, it's right here, it's hidden. So it's an Earthling, search for it with Everybody's Pal Yamcha. I love these super combos because it's 10k right off the bat, so even if you do not have 4 less life, you are still able to get the 10k combo from it, but you just don't get to draw 1. Obviously, if you have 4 less life, you get to draw the 1 from it, which does really help to go against your opponent. Obviously, you guys know super combos are necessary. I was running the Goku +1s for 1 energy prior, but it just became too bulky in terms of energy usage for the deck, and I found out just having 4 of these worked really, really well. Yeah, and then obviously top ups, you draw a card because you can play it in your opponent's turn. You could play it for 2 if you, or as a counter if you are, or even on your turn as well, but playing it for the counter because of Pan's effect, which helps you draw on your opponent's turn. So playing it for 2 if you or your opponent's leader is 15,000 or more. And then obviously the Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta that I explained in the mulligan, running 2 of these guys really helps with the draw. Just watch out for the Kais, but as we will get to it very soon, we'll see cards that can obviously take it out even if those are in active mode. Now we are going to cards that help you defend against your opponent. Okay, so a very good late game, maybe early game if you want to save like your Everybody's Pal Yamcha, or you want to save another card for whatever reason, they can come in handy. Not this for battle cards, but for your leader. So this will be later on in the game ideally. You have your Deadly Defender Krillins. I'm running 3 of these. 3 seem to be working pretty well for me. I playtested quite a bit. 4 is a bit too much, so I end up putting 1 to energy. So trying to run 3 has been consistent so far. Helps you to, not to your leader, for your leader to not be attacked, and gets you the +1 card into your hand. It's the first card you're playing, but you also get to swing with it, put into rest mode, and then that's the way you defend your leader. So it's really good. I love it. It works really well. You don't really have anything to lose with the attack, obviously, because it needs to be in rest mode to defend your leader, which is nice. So you don't really have anything to lose playing it, obviously, when you need to. It does come good in dire situations. 4 blockers, as we have here. Play for free with Hand's ability, of course. Love it. Works really well. It comes very much in handy for me. Running 6 counters, 2 of which are counter attacks, which will negate the attack. They're all counter attacks, but 2 are specifically negates, which come very much in handy. And then 4 are counter attacks, which do not stop your opponent's attack, but does give your card that you're using it on 40k power. And then you choose one of your opponent's battle card that loses 10k, so you really can, like, you can pop that kite with this card. So maybe this is a reason you want to use this card earlier on. Or you can pop another card, just make another card that your opponent has lose 10k. This is one of their battle cards down the leader. I like this because you getting that 40k prior to your opponent comboing does help, because you're pressuring your opponent now, which if they are going to try to out-combo you, hopefully you have a little bit of cards left in your hand to top that. But oftentimes I find, like, unless they're going for game, then they would not try to out-combo that. And if they are going for game, then this does really help you to go against that and to fight them. as well as the effect that it has, Sparking 5. So you have 5 cards in your drop or more, you're able to use this effect for free if you take 1 card from your life and add to your hand. So it does also help you to get cards from your life to your hand late game if you just need more cards and are looking for something that you haven't had to help you win, or if it's early game and you just need to awaken, but your opponent's keeping you up there with high life. So 6 worked really well. I thought it was a lot at first. Tested it out again thanks to Jamal, and it works really well. It works really, really well. I'm never without a negate. Very rarely am I, including with the blockers. So it's a good setup. It's not too bulky in terms of having too many of these guys. Now we have like the little spice for the deck. So rank 2 Genyus helps you to get one of your opponent's cards that's 20k or less power. So you can actually attack with the Ginyu first and then use the effect. Get your opponent's cards, which could get maybe a blocker, which could get a double striker. So it does come in handy. Has won me 1 game so far, but just in general, it's fun to use. And like I said, it does come clutch at times. And then Fearless Pants. I don't use these as much, so I actually haven't used its effect for a finisher, which is why I didn't put in my finisher POW, but I have, but not as much as I have for the other finishing cards. But again, it gives your other cards on your leader card that are red 5k power plus a double strike does come in handy, especially if you could use it on your cards that have critical. You'll see in the side deck that do have cards that are not the trunks, that are not the 1-drop trunks that do have critical. So this come in handy for those cards. Still a good card to run, and obviously it's a blocker barrier, so I'm definitely running 2 of these. And it does come clutch in certain situations to defend against attacks and to spice up my deck. Okay, to even ramp up the cards that are going for finisher. So it's like a pre-finisher kind of thing. Last but not least, for the main deck, show you the game finishers. So obviously Babidi, 6 energy or 4 with the chain attack trunks, maybe 2 if you're evolving, but you have to have at least 6 red energy to play, as you guys know. But if you don't hard cast it by itself, obviously you can use the chain attack trunks to do so for 2 evolve or for 4 energy, playing it normally to get this guy in the field. Which does help you to play into things like these, like a foreseeing hit, or for Yamcha at 100%, whatever else it may be, or even the Pan 5k double striker. So Bobby is really good. Started running in this deck. I found it super fun. You can chain attack into this, into chain attack, into this, into chain attack, and that. It works like that. I used it once on one of the kids that we teach Dragon Ball Super to. That's what we do sometimes, help them learn Dragon Ball Super. It's actually really fun. And end up winning, but then it was just a fun way to win and show our young friend actually the power of combos and what it means to play with strategy. So it ended up being very useful in that way. 2 Glory Obsessed Prince of Destruction Vegetas, really good because they can attack battle cards in active mode, which does help with those Kais and anything else that you may want to get rid of. It does restand once per turn. When you excuse me, you attack a battle card, you can switch to active mode and it gains 10k. But with the Pan effect, if you're playing this first, you're actually going to be put at 30k as opposed to 25. So really, really good because it does restand and you do not have to attack on the restand. So helps to get rid of battle cards. But if you choose attack on the restand, you can actually get rid of 2 battle cards in 1 turn, which is very, very useful and has come in handy. And it can also be a game finisher because while you can like attack a battle card, restand and then attack your opponent for game, or maybe even use Fearless Man's effect to give a double strike and attack your leader with the opponent's leader with a second attack. So very good playability, and again, like I said, it does come in handy. I love the fact that it has such a good effect, but it's only it's required 1 energy for its combo, so you can ditch it if you need to, if you can't play it. Everybody's called Yamcha, start of the deck. This is the start of the deck. I should have shown you at first, but this is the card that got me the most wins. I'm gonna give it an estimate, maybe say 80% of the wins. Just really good cards. Burst 5, so you ditch the top 5 cards from your deck to your drop. Sorry, my throat is really dry. It's winter outside, it's super cold. You know how it is out here in Canadian winter, but that's how it is. It's Canadian winter at 100%, just like Yamcha is at 100%. So yeah, you ditch those top 5 cards. This gains 6k, so it's a 25k, but again, Love playing this first in the turn because with the pan effect plus its effect 30k, and then its attack cannot be negated. It can be Mafuba, but by other negates it cannot be negated, and then if it attacks your opponent's battle card and destroys it, your opponent takes 2 life. So either attacking your opponent's leader, coupled with the Fearless Pan to take 2 life, or if it does not have the double strike because of that, then you can attack your opponent's battle card, take 2 life from there. Works out really well. Or if your opponent has 1 life left, you still use the effect. You don't need to attack a battle card after you use this effect, and then you can just attack your leader instead. Your opponent's leader instead. Works really, really well. Love this card. Love this card. Yamcha is the GOAT. I've been saying this for time. Yamcha has made a comeback with this set. Okay. 2 for seeing hits. You guys know what it does. Amazing. Helps you to see your opponent's hand, and it's a double striker, and it's 20k, which really helps to play with chain attack trunks. You cannot get its effect from Bobbity because when you play it from your hand, but you can Bobbity into chain attack trunks into first seeing hit from your hand. So really good card. It's a game finisher 100%. Many people have run it in red decks for its game finishing abilities, and I have come to appreciate it because Jamal has let me graciously let me use these in my deck. Running 2 right now. I'm always testing out this deck, seeing what works, like I said before, because I do not run 4 of a card except for the super combos. I have a lot of, and the blockers and the negates, I have a lot of room to play around with this deck and to see what may happen if I switch 1 card in or take 2 cards out, put 2 new cards in, etc. So I'm actually going to show you my side deck now and show you what it does look like to have only 1 copy of 1 card in your deck. First, let me start off with I'm actually so sorry, guys. Canadian Winter is brisk. Yo, it's super brisk. With the Kefla, because funny enough, I don't have this in my main deck anymore, but when I did, I only had one of this card in my deck. I was drawing it every single game when I needed it. Like when I say every single game, 100% chance to draw it when I needed it. So I don't know what it was about this card. I don't know what made it go to my hand when I needed it, but I decided that because of that reason, I only ran 1. And it's also a 4-drop. I mean, you could play with Bobbity, but it's not like a card where it's like I need to get it, which is why I only ran 1. So it's like if I get it, I get it. But if I don't, then it's okay. But when I get it, it does come in handy. And then we can go on to the Virtue Strike Gohan. It's the from the Ultimate box. Okay, so you can attack your opponent's battle cards in active mode, and when you KO an opponent's battle card, they take 1 damage. So was running this in main until I subbed it out for stuff like the quick attack trunks and the foreseeing hit, but it does come in handy to get rid of your opponent's battle cards, like those Kais, or late game your opponent has battle cards, they have 1 life left, they have 2 life left, and they might have a Deadly Defender. So get rid of the Deadly Defender, your opponent takes a life if they don't combo it. Next we have, my throat, guys, is killing me. Bodyguard Legend. So free play if your opponent has a card and you do not. And if it is a free play, then you are also getting a free card because it's 15k plus Pan's effect, buffs it up to 20k. Amazing. It's a blocker. It's a good card to have in the side deck. I guess you can also run in main. Definitely you can run in main, but I just run in side deck. Like I said, there's different ways you can play this deck. So I'm just playing what is also fun, but what also I have found to work well. Again, originally had this in the main deck, which helps you to draw a card when you combo with it, and also to take 5k from one of your opponent's battle cards, but also when you play to give your Earthling 5k. So it can help with cards like Quick Rush Trunks to give an extra 5k for this critical, or it can help with Everybody's Pal Yamcha to give it 35k total. It can help with your Yamcha at 100% to give it 35k, or Everybody's Pal Yamcha to give it 25k, 25k, depending if it's the first card you play or not. So a good card to keep, and I have sided it in team tournaments, which has helped us. And actually in that team tournament we got second place. I'm not saying because of this card, but Good card to have. 3 of these that I'm running because of Jamal. The Haru Attacker Margin is a critical, and then obviously if your opponent's leader is green or yellow, you can choose up to 4 of your energy and switch into active mode when you play, which is funny because it's 3-drop, right? So you can potentially just play one of your 1-drops, so you put in the Baba or your Testifying Power Trunks, and then you play this card, and then you untap all your energy that you used already, the 3 plus the 1, right? So I like the fact that you get untap energy that's more than the cost of the card itself. So I never was able to use this yet because I put it in my side deck before the team tournament, but then I never really ended up facing someone where I needed to use it. And I think the one time I did, I might have forgot. But yeah, it's a new card, you make mistakes, but it's okay. Ended up getting 2nd place, which worked well. I don't know if we lost because of this or not, but a good card to have if your opponent's leader is green or yellow. That's why you were keeping it inside. If you're keeping your main, it's a 50-50 chance of playing it or not. So yeah, run this though, it's good. Obviously no specified energy cost, not like it matters, it's mainly a red deck. Good card to have. 1 more chain attack trunks, because like I said, some people run 3 or 4, I run 2, but then I found that having the 3rd in my side deck did come in clutch because I was playing a Janemba deck that milled my cards, but because I had an extra one, I was actually able to get it out, which works well. 2 burst attacks on Goans, like I was saying, the other critical that you can use with the double strike pan to give a double strike critical, and then obviously when it attacks, if you have 4 less cards in your hand, you draw 2 cards, so you can attack with something else with 4, go down to 4, and then attack with this and draw 2 cards, which just help. I have 1 pan and 2 in the side deck. I had this in my main deck for a while. I had 2 and I'm like, sometimes 2 is like, it's good, but then when you get the second one late game, I mean, you can use this energy, but it's like, you don't really want to try it late game. So I went up to 1, I went in for the mulligan, but then for the time I was thinking of what cards to take out for this video and what I want to try running next, I decided to take out the Planet M2 because I found the other cards just work a little bit better, but this is still good to have. That's why I'm putting in your side deck. If your opponent has a lot of 5K blockers or those Kais, you can just sub this into your deck, into your main deck from your side deck, or maybe even put a second one, take out the Kefla, put in a second one, run 2, and then pop your opponent's cards in those ways. So something I saw this guy used, I faced in a tournament, the Fu Sim, Shrouded in Mystery. They say Sim for short. Really good card, negates your opponent's skill, and it's a double striker, and it's over on 10, which is not too hard late game for Pan because you're gonna combo or block, and then combo with your super combos or block, so you get cards to your drop easily. And it costs 6 energy, as much as it would take for Bobbity, but it can get you out of a pinch. Actually, the guy who played it against me, I got this idea from him, but I was able to out combo him by 5k, and then I was able to win the next turn by just attacking with my leader because he wasn't able to out combo me. So good card to have. Obviously you only run 1, you don't run 2 because it's going to be late game, so you most likely have it already, and then you just don't want 2 because it's just going to take up too much space, an extra space in your deck that you really don't need to have, because even if it's late game, you don't need to depend on this card if you're switching it into win. Like I said, you have everybody's Power Yamcha, or Yamcha at 100% rather. I keep mixing those guys up because Yamcha is just too awesome, and you have your other cards that will help you win as well, right? So I'll definitely run one of these in the sideboard, and I'm going to start testing it on my main board just for fun to see what happens. Yeah, so this Pan deck, like I said, Pan is the Ice Queen. Deck runs really well, but also really fun. As well as it is, I would say it's probably like 2 times more fun. I've had a lot of time playing it. This is the deck I played the most consistently. I played it for the past month. I've not played any other deck in the past month because we were training for the Montreal Celebration 3 vs 3, which sadly didn't end up working out. But check out our other video, link right there as well. See what we did instead of going to Montreal, because our team wasn't able to get registered. So that event was the reason why I trained with Pan so much. But even though we didn't get to go to the event because our team wasn't registered, with all the mishap that happened, it's okay because if it wasn't for the event, I probably wouldn't have started playing Pan in the first place. And as you can see, it's a very fun deck to play. So yeah, this is my take on the Pan. It's always changing here and there, but not too drastically. So it more or less stays the same. Check out Jamal's video, like I said, if you scroll back and check the link, or check out my Light Spice video as well to see the video in a shorter context and why I call her the Ice Queen. So that's it for now. We're looking forward to giving more videos. We actually have filmed a couple before this, so that's our way of saying that we do want to be more consistent. We have about 45 people watching regularly, which is nice, because even if it's one, we're still going to make it. It's just fun to make videos. We want to do more creative things in the future, so please subscribe to our channel. Please give a like, please give a comment, so that more people can see our videos. Now again, not so that we get popular, but we just like making content. We just want you guys to see what we have to make. So please feel free to leave any feedback or any ideas.